Hi there, I'm Autumn from Renner International, and I want to give you a few tips about using textbooks in your classroom. Textbooks are very helpful and can provide a really great framework for you as a teacher, but also can be a little bit limited, and sometimes you can feel trapped in what the textbook has to offer. So a few things to keep in mind is before you even open the textbook as a teacher, make sure you plan out your student learning objectives for the week. What vocabulary do I want my students to internalize or fluently use? What grammar do I want my students to fluently use? What reading skills? What types of listening activities? What pronunciation do I want to focus on? And really think about your students and what they need. Then take a look at the textbook and see what pieces of that unit will help your students get to where you want them to go. If you look at the textbook first, you may find that you're making your students' needs fit what the textbook has to offer instead of vice versa. Another thing that's important is before you open the textbook, think about what do my students like? What is interesting to my students? And find a few pieces of authentic material, like a video or a song or an excerpt from a book or a newspaper article that relate to that. And then take a look at what the textbook has to offer and see which things that you want to keep from the textbook and which things you may want to use authentic materials of instead. Because mixing it up and supplementing can be a great way to motivate your students in the classroom. And the last thing to be aware of is never be afraid to go out on your own. The textbook should be used. It's a wonderful jumping off point, but feel free to take what's in the textbook and then match it to what you feel will be best for the students, because in the end, you're the one who knows the students better than the textbook, and when you keep their needs in mind before you take a look at what's in the textbook, you'll find that you're able to meet their needs more accurately because you're considering what they need first before you're looking at what you need to cover. So just keep those things in mind, and I find you will have a more effective and student-centered classroom.